Mr. Speaker, Sir, Honourable Prime Minister, Honourable Deputy Prime Minister, Honourable Cabinet Ministers and Assistant Ministers, Honourable Leader of Opposition, Honourable Members of Parliament, members of the public who are present in the gallery and joining us through live stream, and a very good morning to you all. The Speaker, Sir, I rise this morning to wholeheartedly support the 2026-2027 national budget, aptly themed a responsible budget for a sustainable future. This is indeed a responsible budget, Mr. Speaker, Sir, by a responsible government. This is a responsible budget prepared in difficult circumstances due to the global fuel crisis as well as uncertainties. That is a reality, Mr. Speaker, Sir. The budget was crafted realistically and also prudently. A responsible government does not ignore economic realities, does not pretend that revenue pressures, global uncertainty, infrastructure backlogs, and the needs of ordinary Fijians do not exist. Responsible government make choices, make careful choices. It protects essential services, supports economic growth, manages expenditure prudently, and invests in the foundation that will secure a more sustainable future. That is precisely what this budget does. Mr. Speaker, Sir, I commend the Honourable Minister for Finance, Commerce and Business Development for presenting a budget that is prudent, honest, and forward-looking. It is a budget that places national interest above short-term popularity and lays the foundation for a stronger and a more resilient Fiji. The Speaker says, as we debate this final budget for this parliamentary term, it is appropriate that we pause, not simply to look ahead, but also to reflect on how far we have come together. When this coalition government assumed office in December 2022, we inherited significant challenges. Our economy was recovering from the effects of the pandemic, public debt has risen sharply, critical infrastructure projects have stalled, and confidence in many public institutions needed rebuilding. Easy option would have been to postpone difficult decisions. Instead, Mr. Speaker, Sir, our coalition government chose responsibility over rhetoric. We chose reform over complacency. We chose long-term nation building over short-term applause. That's exactly what the 2026-2027 national budget represents. The Speaker said there were also a lot of harping from the other side of the House on the status of the public debt. I want to refer to a report by the IMF released in May 2026. It says that Fiji's public debt remains sustainable, although debt vulnerabilities are assessed as moderate. Mr. Speaker, Sir, for the Minister of Local Government, the budget is about much more than municipal administration. It is about reshaping Fiji's development geography so that opportunity is no longer concentrated in a handful of urban centres, but reaches every region, every municipality, and every community. The Speaker said the Minister of Local Government therefore plays a much broader role than many realize. Through urban planning, municipal governance, land development, infrastructure, and legislative reform, we're creating conditions for private sector investment, employment, and balanced regional development. Speaker, Sir, this budget provides $29.5 million to the Ministry of Local Government to continue this important work. The resources will allow us to modernize local government, strengthen municipal services, improve urban planning, reform outdated legislation, and continue investing in projects that directly improve the lives of ordinary Fijians. Mr. Speaker, Sir, while a significant proportion of the ministerial allocation is classified as operating expenditure, these are not simply administrative costs. Much of this funding directly supports essential services delivered through our agencies, such as National Fire Authority and the municipal councils. This includes an $8.46 million operating grant for the National Fire Authority, and $2.3 million for emergency ambulance services, and $5.2 million in waste collection subsidies for municipal councils, and $540,000 to support the rural maritime areas governed by the Rural Local Authority. The budget also provides for professional support to municipal councils, governance initiatives, staff training, and international collaboration to strengthen the capacity and performance of local government institutions. Mr. Speaker, Sir, For the past 3 years, this government has demonstrated that we do not simply announce projects, we deliver them. We completed the Sub municipal market, providing modern facilities for farmers, fishers, market vendors, and small businesses in Sub and close by areas. The ministry further commissioned the Ndreketi mini market for the market vendors and commuters traveling through the district. This facility gives travelers and locals a safe, weatherproof, hygienic space to buy and sell produce. We delivered the Nakasi market, creating a new commercial hub in one of Fiji's fast-growing urban corridors and bringing economic opportunities closer to the people. We even completed the labor market, supporting commerce while preserving the unique character of Fiji's first capital. We completed the number 1 passenger terminal, significantly improving connectivity between Vonole and Vitilevu and strengthening economic activity in the Northern Division. Also completed the redevelopment of Govin Park in Ba, restoring an important national sporting facility that will continue to support youth development, community events, and local businesses. Most importantly, a significant boost to the Ba Town Council revenue. The Speakership also provided 6 garbage compactor trucks to support the municipal councils with solid waste management. The Speaker, sir, one of the achievements I'm most proud of is the revival of the new town development program. For far too long, economic growth has remained concentrated within few urban centers, while other regions with enormous potential have waited for investments and opportunity. The government has chosen a different path. We believe that development should not be defined by geography. Every region deserves the opportunity to contribute to Fiji's growth and prosperity. The continuation of the new town development program, supported by $3.8 million in this budget, reflects the vision. The new towns are economic frontiers that create jobs, attract businesses, and stimulate housing, commerce, and industry. They reduce pressure on existing urban centers while unlocking the potential of regions that have long remained underdeveloped. Most importantly, Speaker, they create opportunities for our resource owners and traditional landowners to become genuine participants in Fiji's economic transformation. Mr. Speaker, for generations, many landowners have watched development occur elsewhere while receiving limited benefit from the economic value of their own land. This government believes that those who own land should also share in the prosperity that development creates. New town development allows communities to become partners in investment rather than spectators to development. Through the Namboa New Town project, we'll be trialing the initiative of greater landowners' participation. There is balanced regional development as well as inclusive growth. The Speaker, one of the most important announcements in this budget is the formal declaration of Nabo as a town. This is more than an administrative milestone, but a fulfillment of a promise made more than a decade ago. For more than 10 years, one of Fiji's fastest growing commercial and residential centers was denied the governance framework and municipal administration that its people deserve. As Nabo continued to grow, businesses expanded, new residential developments emerged, and economic activity increased. Yet the town remained without dedicated municipal governance needed to properly plan its future, improve services, and attract investment. And believe that communities experience rapid growth deserve governance arrangements that match their aspirations. The creation of Navo as a town will provide dedicated municipal leadership, improve planning and development control, strengthen environmental management, and create a stronger platform for investment, and more importantly, it will give people of Navo the opportunity to shape the future of their own community. Mr. Speaker, sir, responsible budget is not measured only by the infrastructure we build, but is equally measured by the quality of services we provide every single day to our people. Clean streets, efficient waste collection, effective emergency services, and healthy environment are not luxuries, but are essential public services that directly affect the health, safety, and well-being of every Fijian. That's why this budget significantly strengthens the ministry's commitment to building cleaner, healthier, and a more resilient towns and cities. Speaker, one of the clearest demonstration of this commitment is the substantial increase in municipal waste collection subsidies. This budget increased waste collection subsidies from $3.2 million to $5.2 million. This is a significant investment in supporting municipal councils as they respond to increasing urban population, growing waste volumes, and rising service expectations. More importantly, it is investment in cleaner communities, better public health, and a healthy environment for future generations. The Speaker said this budget also marks an important milestone in Fiji's transition towards a circular economy through the launch of Fiji's first municipal sorting at source initiative in Singapore. Okay. For the first time, households participating in the pilot program will separate recyclable materials from residual waste, reducing pressure on landfill sites, increasing recycling and resource recovery, and encouraging a culture of environmental responsibility within our communities. Mr. Speaker, sir, complementing this initiative, the government will commence the remediation of the Singapore Dam site, continuing the development of long-term landfill solutions, including the Western Division landfill project. This investment demonstrates that the government is not simply managing waste, but transforming the way Fiji approaches waste management through better environmental stewardship and more sustainable urban development. Mr. Speaker, sir, a responsible government is not only about building infrastructure or facilitating investment, but it's also equally about strengthening governance, accountability, and public confidence in our institutions. Since 2022, the Ministry has tabled more than 30 annual reports of the councils in this August Parliament, reaffirming our commitment to transparency and restoring sound public sector governance. And today, 7 out of 13 municipal councils, seven out of 13 municipal councils are only 2 to 3 years behind in the audits. That is Ragurag Town Council, while Ragurag Town Council has no outstanding audits. Mr. Speaker, sir, as I travel throughout our municipalities, I am constantly reminded that government is ultimately about the people. It is about the market vendor who now earns a better income because of improved facilities. It is about the farmer who has better access to markets. It is about the young entrepreneur who see new opportunities emerging in their own community. It is about families who can see investment and development coming closer to where they live. These are the people who inspire us to continue to building a stronger Fiji. The Ministry of Housing, Mr. Speaker, sir, in the past 3 years, our government has steadily transformed Fiji's housing sector through comprehensive policy reforms, strengthened institutions, and targeted investments. Rather than focusing solely on immediate housing needs, we have established long-term policy and institutional foundations necessary to deliver sustainable housing outcomes for current and future generations. This reflects the very essence of a responsible budget, investing today to secure a stronger tomorrow. And the Ministry of Housing has been allocated $25.64 million for the 2026-2027 financial year compared to $29.82 million in 2025-2026 financial year. While the overall allocation is reduced, the coalition government has maintained its unwavering commitment to addressing Fiji's housing challenge by strategically directing available resources towards programs that deliver the greatest long-term social economic benefits for Fijian families. The Ministry's capital investment, Speaker, will continue to support transformative initiatives that directly improve the lives of Fijians, including the expansion of the first home ownership assistance program, the upgrading of and formalization of informal settlements, the development of affordable housing units, the construction of new public rental flats, and increased capital support for the Housing Authority, the Public Rental Board, Housing Assistance and Relief Trust, HART, as well as the Corey Peter Model Town Extension. Mr. Speaker, sir, since taking office, the government has undertaken one of the most comprehensive housing reform programs in recent years. We have completed the review and adoption of National Housing Policy 2025-2030, providing Fiji with a modern policy framework that promotes affordable, inclusive, climate resilient housing while strengthening coordination across government, statutory agencies, and development partners. Mr. Speaker, sir, recognizing that housing affordability remains one of the greatest challenges facing low-income households, the coalition government has also undertook a comprehensive review of the first home ownership assistance program. The program has now been redesigned to ensure that government assistance is more effectively targeted towards those families who need most. By focusing support on low-income households, and strengthening program eligibility, the coalition government has ensured that public resources are used responsibly and equitably. This reform reflects our commitment to ensuring that hardworking Fijians, regardless of income, have a genuine opportunity to own a safe and secure home. Speaker, sir, the coalition government has made significant progress through the informal settlement upgrading project. Program over the past 3 years, 4 completed upgrading projects at Thuvu and Rusasa, Dam and Tavela have delivered improved roads, drainage, water supply, sanitation, and other essential infrastructure for families living in informal settlements. At the same time, Speaker, sir, new upgrading projects have commenced while others continue under implementations. Speaker, sir, our housing reforms have also extended to our statutory agencies. With Housing Authority and Public Rental Board have undertaken policy reviews aimed at improving service delivery, increased access to affordable housing, and expanding opportunities for home ownership. This reform strengthens the institution responsible for delivering housing services while ensuring they remain responsive to the changing needs of the people of Fiji. Speaker, sir, one of the most significant investments in this budget is the continued strength of Fiji's of the first home ownership program. Following a successful review of the program, the government has increased funding for households earning $30,000 and below to $2.6 million. More importantly, the revised program now provides grants of up to $40,000 for home construction and $30,000 for home purchase for eligible lower income households, while also increasing assistance. Households earning between $30,001 and $60,000 with an allocation of $500,000. These reforms ensure that government assistance is directed towards those families facing the greatest barriers to entering the housing market and provide thousands of Fijians with a realistic pathways towards home ownership. The Speaker's budget also allocates $10 million for the formalization of 9 informal settlements. Torres Socorro, Field 4, Waliongo and Mba, Vunika and Lambasa, Delesaweni, Notoka, Nambari, Lobusi Side, and Tambati and Sua throughout Fiji. These investments will continue upgrading social infrastructure, improving living conditions, and strengthening tenant security families residing in these communities. Around $1.3 million, Mr. Speaker, sir, has been allocated for the relocation and resettlement of informal settlements. The BAB will assist the ministry to relocate and resettle close to 1,200 households evicted from Vendong, Nanuku, in Namboa, in Vatuanga, Namboa Muslim League settlements, as well as Kilkali settlement. Mr. Speaker, sir, Housing Authority continues to play a central role in delivering the coalition government's housing agenda. Over the past years, the authority has undergone a significant transformation in both its operational performance as well as its service delivery. And Mr. Speaker, sir, equally important, capital grants and transfers have increased to $7.7 million. This increased allocation provides additional capital support to the Housing Authority, expands investment in the Public Rental Board, continues government partnership with the Koroipita Model Town Extension, and increased assistance to the Housing Assistance Relief Trust. And Mr. Speaker, sir, over the past 3 years, the coalition government has led policy fund, institutional and legislative foundations for long-term housing reform. Every service lot developed, every settlement upgraded, every family assisted, and every affordable home constructed represents another step towards building strong communities and improving the quality of life for all Fijians. It is through responsive leadership, prudent investment, and sustained planning that we will continue delivering a housing sector that supports economic growth, promotes social inclusion, and ensures that every Fijian family will live a safe, secure, and affordable home. Speaker, I am proud to support this budget because it invests not only in today's priorities, but in tomorrow's prosperity. It is a budget that plans for the future and delivers for the present. Speaker, I fully support the 2026-2027 national budget and commend it to the August House. Now, election.